All right, so YouTube just pushed out a new update about a new resource for creators called the YouTube Creator Music Hub. Now, what is it? Basically, what it is a way for creators to use popular music inside of their YouTube videos without losing monetization. Now, obviously, that sounds great on the front end, but if you look on the back end and you start to read the fine print, it's some things that people are not really paying attention to, and it could actually harm them in the future and really take some money out of their pockets. All right, so we're gonna get into the details. So right here it says get a license or share revenue, right? So you got two options. You can decide to buy a license and pay an upfront fee, or you could do no fee for some tracks. That's only certain tracks you could do this for with no fee, and you could just decide, okay, I'm just gonna do the share revenue option, and then you gotta split whatever your percentage is with YouTube. All right, so if you don't, anything that you got questions on as I'm going through this, just drop them down below. I'll be sure to do my best to get back an answer for you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on a little bit. Now right here, the share revenue, pay no upfront fee and split video revenue with the track rights holders. All right, so now we're gonna look at the revenue split. So obviously you can see right here it says the standard 55% revenue share is split between you and the music rights holder, and your total earnings are dependent upon these two things right here. You got number of tracks used, so depending on how many split revenues you do within a video, and then also on the amount that you purchase, right? Because all of this stuff is going to play into a role. And then also the music's rights cost. What is the music rights cost? You might as well just call this a fee. This is just a fee. They say it's for performance to cover certain music costs and different things like that. But I would just say this is just a fee on top of what you're going to probably either pay or the revenue split. And I'm going to show you a number example as we continue to go throughout the video. But I just want to clarify a couple more things. All right. So now let's scroll down a little bit further. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna try to simplify it the best I can for you so you can see, is it gonna be beneficial for you as far as revenue or is it not? So right here it says, if you use one track that's sharing revenue, you'd earn half of the standard 55% revenue share. Okay, so half of 55 is 27.5. Now the music rights cost, now when I was reading a little bit through it, it said it could be up to 5%. So that doesn't mean it's gonna be 5% every single time. Sometimes it might be 1%. Sometimes it might be 2%, 3%, or whatever it is, but you are going to have that music rights cost. Now, if you look at this, it tells us from 55%, which is what we would get on a regular video, it goes all the way to 25% if we decide to use one revenue sharing track. Okay, now right here, an example of using two revenue sharing tracks and one license track. So if you see right here, it says you automatically lose 1/3 of your 55%. So that brings you to 18% revenue. And don't forget that little music rights cost, which is -2%. And so that brings you to 16%, right? So when you look at this, or at least when I look at this, I think I just want to just hold on to my revenue and continue using the programs that I use as far as royalty-free music, because I'm not really having to deal with this. I could just go ahead and just put my music in there as I would like to, right? That's just my thoughts on it, right? Let me know down below, what is your thoughts on it so far? All right, so let's go ahead and continue. So now we're gonna get into the usage. Now this is where it gets very, very important, all right? So I was in the music industry for about 8 years, right? So when it comes to like licensing and different things like that, you really wanna make sure that you're reading the fine print, all right? All right, so let's get into it. So track and video duration. Video uses an appropriate amount of the track in an appropriate length of the video. So this is where you want to open up your ears, turn them up a little bit, do what you got to do. So right here it says if the track is licensable, but you don't want to buy a license, you can share revenue by using a track for less than 30 seconds in a video that's longer than 3 minutes. Now, when I first read that, I was like, what? What did that mean? So I read it again, and I read it a couple times to really understand it. But basically what it says is, if you decide to not buy it and you just want to share the revenue, then you can't use as much as you want of that track in your YouTube video. It can only be a little bit of it. Now, the next thing, if the track is not licensable, but it's eligible for revenue sharing, meaning you can't license it, but you still want to revenue share it, then you can use as much as the track as you want to. Now, let's continue. It says you won't have any monetization issues. Then it also says no live streams or shorts. So you can't use YouTube Creator Music, or at least at this time, you can't do it. Maybe it'll change in the future. I don't know. But as of right now, you can't use any YouTube Creator Music on shorts or live streams, only on long form videos. Okay. All right. So now the next thing, and this is the killer right here. Remember that users' requirements can change at the right holder's discretion. So what does that mean? At the drop of a dime, if any one of these rights owners, these music labels or whatever it is, decide, nope, I don't want this to be licensed, I want to change that, and they just decide, oh, nope, that's not happening, guess what? Your video now will have content claims, copyright. You could be liable for a lot of different things, right? And so that was an automatic no for me at that point. Unless this, a lot of these things that I'm going to be pointing out decide to change, I'm probably not going to be using the YouTube Creator Music. That's just me just being completely honest with you, all right? So I want you to think about this for a minute. Imagine your video, it's not really doing as well at first, and then it starts to take off, and then they decide, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and change things, and then now they collecting the revenue and you not. All right, so just think about that. All right, so as you can see right here, it says only YouTube audio library licenses are valid to use in multiple videos. So if you use the YouTube audio library, you could use that in multiple different videos. But if you decide to buy a license with the YouTube Creator Music program, guess what? You can only use it for that specific video. And then another thing is you can't use this license for other platforms like TikTok, Instagram, or anything like that, right? So for me, when I thought about that, I was like, well, with the third-party program that I use to get my music right now, I could use that on any platform, right? So there's major benefit to that. Now, hopefully YouTube decides, to make a change on that. But if not, I'm probably just going to stick with the third-party program that I use. And I'll leave a link down below in the description for that. It's called Epidemic Sound, all right? All right, so let's go to the next thing. So there are also restrictions on how licensed music can be used within videos, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. But before we get to that, the next thing is you need to understand that these licenses, they're not forever. They expire. And one thing to remember, let's say, for instance, after this update and everything come out, you decide, okay, I'm going to do 20 to 25 videos, and I'm going to use different licenses for each. And now you're forgetting, oh man, I got to re-up on those licenses. So it gives you too much stuff to be thinking about. You see what I mean? Now let's go ahead and move on, right? Because that's very simple. Just look at the expiration stuff for those licenses and you should be good to go. All right. So right now, if you are somebody watching this and you got like brand deals, when you do a video where they pay you to make the video, you can't use YouTube Creator Music. Let me show you. Not permitted. Paid by the brand to make a video that promotes and reviews a new product. So if you're doing any brand sponsorship deals where you were paid to make the video, you can't use YouTube Creator Music in there, right? This is why it's very beneficial to be using like a third party, like what I use, which is Epidemic Sound, because I can use that music in any one of my videos and multiple times. All right, so then down here, you also can't do any altering to the track. So if you get like a third-party software that you're using, you're trying to alter different things, you can't do that as well. So that's something to understand, when you're talking about this licensing and different things like that, it can really get quite complicated, right? So if you do decide to use the YouTube Creator Music, keep in mind all of these things that I just laid out in this video. So hopefully the information in this video was helpful for you. And if it was, definitely go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Also, drop me a comment down below letting me know if you more for the YouTube Creator Music program or you like, I don't know about that one. Let me know down below in the comments. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.